The Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks have always had a fierce and fiery rivalry. But nobody, not the players, not the coaches, not the thousands of fans packed inside the stadium, could have predicted what was about to unfold in the final inning of what should have been a routine baseball game. What happened on that field in the closing moments of the night was so sudden, so violent, and so emotionally charged that it instantly became the most talked about moment in baseball this entire season. Two Arizona Diamondbacks players made a decision that shocked the entire sport. They targeted Shohei Ohtani. Deliberately. Ruthlessly. And the consequences were immediate, explosive, and completely unforgettable. What exactly did the two Diamondback stars do to Ohtani? How did the Dodgers respond when their biggest star was targeted? And what happened when both benches finally emptied and all hell broke loose on that field? Going into the final inning, the Dodgers held a narrow but comfortable lead. The game had been intense from the very first pitch, with both teams trading momentum back and forth throughout the night. Ohtani had once again been the centerpiece of everything the Dodgers did offensively, delivering clutch hit after clutch hit and reminding everyone watching exactly why he is considered the greatest baseball player on the planet. The Diamondbacks knew that as long as Ohtani was healthy and locked in, their chances of winning this game were fading with every passing inning. And that is when the mood on the Arizona side of the field began to shift into something darker. Sources close to the situation revealed that tension had been quietly building between these two teams for several innings before the incident occurred. There had been words exchanged between players during earlier at-bats. There had been hard looks and slow walks back to the dugout. The kind of tension that experienced baseball people recognize immediately as a warning sign that something serious is coming. Veterans on both benches could feel it. The umpires could feel it. Even the broadcasters in the press box began commenting on the unusual edge in the atmosphere of the stadium. But nothing could have prepared anyone for what came next. When Shohei Ohtani stepped into the batter's box in the final inning, the entire stadium rose to its feet. The crowd was electric. Ohtani adjusted his helmet, dug his back foot into the dirt, and stared out at the mound with his trademark expression of total focus and quiet confidence. For a moment, everything felt normal. Everything felt like baseball. Then the first pitch came directly at him. The ball struck Ohtani with a force that sent an audible gasp through the entire crowd. Ohtani stumbled slightly but did not go down. He stood for a moment, absorbing the pain, before slowly beginning to walk toward first base. The Dodgers dugout immediately erupted. Players jumped to their feet. Coaches rushed to the top of the steps. Manager Dave Roberts came out of the dugout with his eyes locked on the Diamondbacks pitcher, demanding an explanation from the home plate umpire. The umpire issued a warning to both benches. Everyone on the field understood what that warning meant. One more incident and players would be ejected. The situation had officially been placed on the edge of a knife. Will Ohtani be seriously injured after being struck so violently? Will the Dodgers retaliate? And why did the Diamondbacks appear to target the most important player in all of baseball so deliberately and so ruthlessly? What happened next left everyone in that stadium completely breathless. With the warning already issued, and with every set of eyes in the building watching every single movement on that field, the second Diamondbacks pitcher stepped onto the mound. The Dodgers dugout was already on high alert. Roberts stood at the top of the steps with his arms crossed, watching everything with an intensity that made clear he was ready to act at any moment. Freddie Freeman, standing in the dugout, later admitted that he already had a feeling in his stomach that something was about to go very wrong. The second pitch came. And just like the first, it found Ohtani's body with a violence that was impossible to dismiss as accidental. This time, the stadium did not just gasp. It erupted. Ohtani turned toward the mound. The Diamondbacks catcher jumped to his feet. The home plate umpire immediately stepped between the two players. But it was already too late. Within seconds, the Dodgers dugout emptied completely. Players poured onto the field from every direction. The Diamondbacks responded in kind, rushing out from their own dugout to meet the incoming wave of Dodgers players. Coaches, trainers, and even front office personnel seated near the field found themselves scrambling as the situation exploded into a full and chaotic bench-clearing brawl that engulfed the entire playing field. Eyewitnesses at the scene described the scene as one of the most intense and frightening moments they had ever witnessed at a baseball game. Reporters in the press box said that from their vantage point, it was nearly impossible to track everything that was happening simultaneously because there were so many players involved and the action was moving so quickly across the field. Mookie Betts was one of the first Dodgers players to reach the center of the confrontation. Sources say that Betts, who is normally one of the most composed and level-headed players in the entire organization, was visibly furious as he rushed toward the Diamondbacks players who had been involved in hitting Ohtani. Betts later told reporters that when you watch your teammate get targeted not once but twice in the same inning, something inside you simply takes over and you stop thinking about consequences. Freddie Freeman, speaking to the press after the game, said that the moment the second pitch hit Ohtani, there was not a single player in that Dodgers dugout who stayed seated. Freeman said that Ohtani is not just their best player. He is their brother. He is the heart of everything this team does. And when someone goes after your brother with that kind of obvious and deliberate intent, you respond. Freeman said it without hesitation and without apology. Manager Dave Roberts, who was eventually restrained by his own coaches near the third baseline, later faced a packed and incredibly intense press conference. Roberts walked into the room with a look on his face that made several reporters uncomfortable before he had spoken a single word. When asked to describe what happened on the field tonight, Roberts took a long breath before responding. He said that what the Diamondbacks did tonight was not baseball. It was not competition. It was not even close to being acceptable by any standard of the game. Roberts said that hitting a batter once can sometimes be explained away. Hitting the same batter twice in the final inning of a game, after a warning has already been issued, cannot be explained away by anything. Roberts said he would be filing a formal complaint with the league office first thing in the morning and that he fully expected significant disciplinary action to follow. When reporters asked specifically about Ohtani's physical condition, Roberts paused again before answering. He said that Ohtani had been examined by the team's medical staff immediately after leaving the field and that they were monitoring the situation closely. He said that Ohtani's competitive spirit was fully intact, as anyone who knows him would expect, but that the team was going to be cautious and responsible with his health before making any decisions about his availability for upcoming games. Sources close to Ohtani revealed that the Japanese superstar remained remarkably calm in the immediate aftermath of the brawl. While players around him were still processing the chaos and the emotion of what had just occurred, Ohtani sat quietly in the training room and allowed the medical staff to do their work. A source said that Ohtani made a point of personally checking on several of his teammates who had been involved in the confrontation to make sure they were not injured. That moment, according to the source, said everything about who Shohei Ohtani is as a person and as a teammate. Even after being targeted twice, even after enduring the kind of pain and frustration that would cause most people to lose themselves completely, Ohtani's first thought was for the people around him. The Diamondbacks organization released a brief statement after the game acknowledging that the situation had gotten out of hand and that the league would be handling the matter going forward. Neither of the two pitchers involved spoke to the media. As the Dodgers filed out of the stadium and onto their team bus, the mood was a mixture of anger, relief, and unity. Players who had been standing shoulder to shoulder on that field just an hour earlier now sat together in silence, connected by something that goes far beyond statistics and standings. Dave Roberts, before boarding the bus, turned to reporters one final time and delivered a message that was short, direct, and impossible to misunderstand. He said that nobody in this league should ever make the mistake of thinking they can target Shohei Ohtani and walk away from it without consequences. He said that this Dodgers team protects its own. Always. Without exception. And tonight, every single person in that stadium saw exactly what that means. Shohei Ohtani will be back. The Dodgers will be back. And the Arizona Diamondbacks will not soon forget what happened when they made the decision to cross that line. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information.